The afternoon sun was high when the electricity company worker arrived, his presence a welcome relief. Katherine observed him with a sense of anticipation. His eagerness to address the issue was palpable, and his swift movements suggested he was keen to complete the task quickly. His presence a welcome relief. Katherine noted his eagerness to address the issue. He seemed almost impatient, as if he were eager to finish and leave as quickly as possible. His movements were brisk, but there was an underlying tension in his demeanor. He frequently glanced around, as though he were expecting someone or dreading something. As he worked, his restlessness was evident. He avoided making eye contact and seemed preoccupied, his focus shifting uneasily from one corner of the mansion to another. The once friendly and efficient demeanor was now replaced by a palpable discomfort. When the job was finally done, he packed up his tools with hurried efficiency. Without a word of farewell or any acknowledgement of Katherine's gratitude, he quickly made his exit, slipping out of the mansion almost as swiftly as he had arrived. The abrupt departure left Katherine standing in the dimly lit hallway, puzzled and unsettled by the worker's peculiar behavior. Her spirits lifted at the prospect of regaining power. The idea of cutting the overgrown grass, cooking a proper meal, and perhaps even watching TV brought a renewed sense of possibility to her. The prospect of these simple comforts, of transforming the mansion from a dark, dormant place into a livable home, fueled her determination. With the electricity issue on its way to resolution, Katherine's focus sharpened. She envisioned the mansion undergoing a transformation, a reinvigoration that would breathe new life into its neglected rooms. Her main goal now was clear: to overhaul the space and make it her own, starting with the essentials that had been missing in her initial days at the mansion. As Katherine stood alone in the hallway, the electricity worker's abrupt departure lingered in her thoughts. His eagerness to finish the job, his constant glances around, and his hurried exit all seemed out of place. She couldn't shake the feeling that something was amiss, that his behavior hinted at a deeper unease or hidden tension. The worker's restlessness and the way he avoided eye contact left her with a nagging curiosity. What had made him so anxious? Why had he seemed so wary, almost as though he were on edge? Katherine found herself mulling over these questions as she walked through the now-lit rooms of the mansion. While she busied herself with the tasks of tidying up and beginning her renovations, her mind kept drifting back to the worker's strange behavior. The mystery of his unease only added to the sense of intrigue that surrounded the mansion and its history. The more she pondered, the more she felt that there was a story yet to be uncovered, one that might explain not only the worker's odd demeanor, but also the peculiar atmosphere of the mansion itself. Determined to tackle her new environment, Katherine decided to begin with the study room. As an aspiring writer, she envisioned this space as essential to her creative endeavors, and she was eager to transform it into a functional, inspiring workspace. Armed with several large boxes, Katherine set to work clearing out the clutter. The study room, though spacious, was weighed down by years of accumulated debris. 3 towering bookshelves, crammed with a multitude of books, stood sentinel over the room. The desk, a stately piece of furniture, boasted 2 drawers, one already revealing its contents as a jumble of irrelevant documents. The second drawer, however, was locked. Its presence intrigued Katherine. As she sorted through the room's detritus, her curiosity about what might be hidden within that locked drawer grew stronger. The prospect of discovering something hidden, perhaps a secret or a forgotten piece of history, piqued her interest. She wondered what secrets the drawer might hold, and felt a growing urge to uncover its contents. With a mix of anticipation and determination, Katherine resolved to find a way to open the drawer and see what lay within. It was clear that the study room held more than just old papers and books. But Katherine's curiosity about the locked drawer was tinged with a pragmatic outlook. While she didn't believe it held anything of particular significance to her, she felt a sense of responsibility to open it nonetheless. If the contents proved to be of any importance or value, she was determined to ensure they were returned to the previous owners or handled appropriately. As she worked through the clutter of the study room, Catherine's thoughts remained on the drawer. She imagined it might contain old correspondence, forgotten documents, or even personal mementos from the mansion's former occupants. Though she didn't expect to find anything that would directly impact her, she was committed to preserving any significant discoveries and honoring the history of the place. Her primary focus remained on clearing out the room and making it a functional space for her writing. But the mystery of the locked drawer was a tantalizing side quest, one she was eager to resolve in the hope of uncovering a piece of the mansion's past and fulfilling her duty to its previous inhabitants. Katherine sifted through the lower drawer of the desk, hoping to find the key to the locked top drawer. Instead, she encountered only a tedious array of papers, none of which were of particular interest. She also examined a few drawers embedded in the bookshelves, but found nothing noteworthy there either. Frustration began to set in, but she was determined to uncover whatever secrets the study might hold. Suddenly, a creaking sound from the hallway interrupted her focus. Catherine's heart skipped a beat as she gasped, "Is anyone there?" Even though she had securely locked the front door, the thought of someone entering through one of the ground floor windows unsettled her. The silence that followed only heightened her anxiety. Just as she turned back to her task, a distinct thump echoed from one of the ground floor rooms, a small, inconspicuous space adjacent to the study. This room, with its lone armchair, modest bookshelf, large lamp, and a mini fridge stocked with alcoholic beverages, seemed to have been used by the previous owner as a sort of man cave. Katherine cautiously approached the room, her steps deliberate. She scanned the space, finding it empty and undisturbed. Her gaze then fell upon a small wooden box lying on the floor, positioned in front of the bookshelf. It appeared to have fallen and caused the thump she had heard. Curiosity piqued, Katherine picked up the box. As she did, the lid sprang open, revealing a small key and a tiny glass bottle filled with a dark, opaque liquid. Intrigued, she gathered the items and returned to the study. With a mixture of hope and trepidation, Katherine inserted the key into the lock of the top drawer. To her surprise, it turned smoothly, and the drawer creaked open. Her breath caught in her throat as she peered inside, nearly fainting at the sight of what lay within.